championship. The first archer is the 8th place qualifier, Mike Ellis from River Ridge, Louisiana. Come on up, Mike.
You could have stayed, it's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah.
Mike has been competing for about 5 years. He's a lifetime recurve bow hunter. Bow hunted with recurves, kind of get.
This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power.
Or you see them coming in and getting frustrated because they're not able to compete, but there's no reason why any one of you, doesn't matter what age you are, can't compete with anybody. I mean, there's not a big men, woman type thing with Barebow with accuracy or anything like that, especially on like a close on, say a 20-yard course. Maybe on your 50-meter stuff, there could be a difference, but if you don't have the building blocks, you can't go any further. So you got to start at the bottom and get that solid. And once that's solid, then you can kind of grow and advance off of that. So today we're going to try to get the foundation. What we're going to do is get all the information down on there that you know, so that you can kind of keep this. Anytime you change something, add some twist, turn, anything, always write it down here and just kind of keep notes on your setup. That way, if you want to make some changes, let's say go to 3D versus indoor, you know, you have your baseline. Either have someone hold it, or you hold it, and what you're trying to look, or rest it on a chair, but you don't want to hold the lip, just because it could possibly change if your riser's heavy. But you're just trying to sight down it and see. You want the string to go straight through. You just want the string to go through the 2 lines on there. It's like a gun sight. You don't have to worry, so it's good that it's straight. Now on tiller, since we're all going to string walk, I'm assuming, or either up against a knot, you want to set the tiller, and what the tiller is going to do is basically make the top and the bottom limb work together. If the tiller's off, then the ring limb's going to work harder. It's either the bottom limb's working harder, it's going to pull, which is going to kind of give you kind of a little weird feel. It's going to be a little harder to hold. And it'll kind of make you kind of shoot a little low, or just the opposite, it's the top tiller. The top tiller's off, it's going to kind of pull you up that way a little bit. So to measure the tiller, I'll get to you in a second. Come in with the square, just kind of butt it on the top end of the riser. And it's really kind of a light eyeball thing, but kind of get it as level as you can get it. So go 7 and 5 for the top tiller. See how we'll sort of measure like that. Just that, kind of level her out. No, that's fine. That's the one that we do. 7 and 9 sixteenths. If you guys take a look at them, you should find the bottom one hopefully is either the same or a little bigger, up to maybe a 1/4 inch on the bottom. Is that what you guys are finding? If it's lopsided and it's bigger on the top, it's kind of a feel thing, but you're going to be better off and the limbs will work better anywhere from say even to 1/4 inch or so on the bottom. I usually like mine about 1/8 of an inch, just to give me a little more, as I draw, it's kind of putting it to the heel of my thumb a little more. All right. That's on the higher end. And do you know how to read your brace height? I didn't think about it. Well, everyone have a arrow square? Highly, like it's a must. Definitely a must have to have that. And to test your brace, we'll use it as an example here. Take your square and you're going to put it right to right in the top groove of your grip. Just kind of butt it up there. You can slide it a little bit and it'll kind of lock into place. And then where your string intersects is your brace. So we're at 8.5 on this one. Range of, usually it's about 3/4 of an inch. So it'll say between 8 and 8 3/4. What you'll do to set it, I usually set it in the middle of that range, like when I first get it set up, and then I start tuning from there. And to do that, it's just by twisting or untwisting your string. Is everyone aware of that? So say you're 8.5 on this bow, but you were short. So you'd unstring it, put probably 3-4 twists in it, and then check it. Don't do that. That gets your brace.
So when you twist your string up, you're basically shortening the string, right?
Yeah. When you twist it, it'll shorten the string up. Move on. Let's get our knock point. Does everyone know how to do that one? All right. Kind of take the square and you're going to clip it onto your string. Rotate it in. And you're going to bring it down just until it kisses your wrist. You don't want to put a lot of downward pressure, just want it to kind of cradle right on your wrist like that. See how we... And then so now that it's square on there, what we want to do is we're going to go to the bottom of your knock point, whether it's a tied in or a brass one. And you're going to kind of see where that... Gotta have some eyes. You may be able to see it, but I need some eyes. Okay. On this one, so and see how we record it. 3/8 for your knock point. All right, we kind of gather around here. I'm going to show you how to put your knock points on.
I'll video it?
Yes. I mean, this is something you're always going to need. They're going to wear. They're going to move something or another. So you take, maybe 14 inches or so. Get it to where it needs to be. Tie a simple granny knot. Pull it good and tight. Take one leg, make a little loop. So it's just loop back like that. Take the other leg, come around, come right behind that granny knot tight. 1, put your thumb there to hold it. 2, 3, 4. At the end of the 4th, take that loop you were just using to wrap with, or that piece that you were using to wrap with, come back through this loop, and to hold it in place, I just kind of put a little tension up, grab the other leg that was left where you started, and slowly pull it down. And now if you want a video and to get in here, you can see how that's loose right here. Pull this bottom piece, and it kind of halfway sucks that loop with this captured underneath it. That's your tied knock point. Now, take... Yeah, I thought I had it up here on the, there it is. So now this, and to burn them, you always burn them. Just get that out of the way since it's so long. All right. Actually, someone's got a knife on by any chance?
What you need?
Get your knife. Let me cut these shorter. Oh no. All right, so you just have the little tags.
You're good.
Just let it kind of burn down and try to train that little tag end up. Well, we can move this too. I'm going to give you a little bit of, and then to turn these, all you can do, you can just take them and just screws up and down the string. Once you get it set exactly where you want it, buy some super glue with the brush in it, and just brush your nocks. Try not to get it in the center on your serving, but just super glue those nocks. You can still break it free and turn it if you're tuning or trying new arrows or anything, but it won't move and it won't interfere with anything.
So you can't mark your strings.
With no plunger, depending if you don't have the spine just right, that arrow is going to bend to come around, and if it's too stiff, it turns around and pops, hits the tail, and then throws you off, or it does something else. Whereas when you shoot with a plunger, you got the spring in there, and it kind of pushes in and keeps your arrow more on a straighter plane. It's not hitting and bouncing. So they're expensive. It's like 150 bucks for the plunger, but it's worth it. You buy it once, you can have all kinds of adjustments, it's super easy. That's the difference between, like, say, a $30 plunger or $150. It's just the amount of adjustments. Or you can do it on the fly. Like, say you're on the line, you're a little nervous, and you're shooting right. I mean, don't ever hesitate. Put a crank or two in there. Let me just crank on it. It's going to push you back that way a little, back to your left. And it's micro too, so honestly more than anything, you put a full turn in there, you're going to move it a little bit, but more importantly, you put it in your head. Put it in your head that you moved it. So it does work, and the tighter your arrow is spined and set to your bow, the more the plunger will work. But definitely a needed thing. They've got, like, a biter plunger is probably the gold standard. Like I said, they're $150. You can buy all kinds of extra springs and tips so you can work on your tuning instead of, because once your center shot is good, you want to leave it. But say you're changing from a 204 to a 166 diameter arrow. So instead of going through the whole center shot thing again, you can unscrew the back of it, pull it out, and put a shorter or a longer plunger tip in there. And I think they're in 2mm lengths. So you can get pretty close with that. But that's definitely a must. And they all work and they all do the same thing. But easier adjustment is what you're paying for.
You're definitely right. So this was $25. So switches to 1.5
And it's a bear because you've got to have all kinds of tools. Whereas if you're on the line with that one, you can just, make all your adjustments. Light, and you can see where you're at. So you just write that down, just record, that's my center shot setting. So if you do change arrows like you're talking about, you're like, all right, no big deal, loosen my center shot, set it there, get that. Now, if you want to change back, you go back because you have the numbers, and you just screw it back, and you're ready to go.
So easy to change. So
Yeah.
Would that be a good day to do this with weather being kind of crappy?
Yeah, right. And between the two, I'd either go with a whiffler or a biter. Roughly the same price. One's magnetic, one's a spring driven. I don't really find that much of a difference. The only difference is I think I have more adjustment with a magnetic plunger than with a spring plunger. But they're the same price. So. I see the majority of you guys with flipper rests, like the little plastic rests. Those are great. The only problem with that, they're made more for like the Olympic side. And so they're real thin, but they're gonna wear real fast. And even with, like with a crawl, you got a higher knock point, so you're pushing a lot of pressure down on that rest. Like rests are notoriously known for breaking wires, just because of all that downward pressure from the crawl. And with the plastic ones, you'll wear a plastic one out where it will affect your tune within the tournament. It'll wear just enough. I mean, because you think if it's even a 30-second here, you know, if you're 30 yards away, even 20 yards away, that's going to be a different point of impact, which could put you out. And especially when you're trying to compete at a high level, you know, a 9, you know, it could be definitely the difference between winning and losing. And if you're just falling just out and hitting an 8, you know, that guy's going to walk away from you. Which comes to rest. That's kind of where I like to play. I've tried all kinds of different rests. You can go from like a $30 Spigarelli ZT rest, which is probably the gold standard, but the only problem is they have some little tiny screws on them and they will strip out at the most inopportune time. So I usually stick with just the AAE Free Flight Elite, which once again is another $150, but it's bulletproof. Like when I went to compete in the World 3D, I carried this one and another one and didn't worry about it. And never took the other one out of my bag. That's how much I would trust it to fly all the way across the, you know, all the way to AAE Free Flight Elite. Or if you're trying to save a couple dollars, you can go with the Spigarelli, but just know the Spigarelli ZT rest, be very, very careful once you set it. And the only time you're really going to mess with it is when you are setting the wire. And when I say setting the wire, everybody see how that wire is kind of cradled in the arrow? Yeah, that's how you want it. You just want it to cradle it. You don't want the wire sticking way out to the side because you're going to catch on your fletching or something like that. Let me see how that's. All right, this is how you want to hold your bow. Like say this is the grip right here. Come in with a flat hand. And just kind of come in, like kind of up at the top, and rotate your hand down. And just come in and just catch a light finger right there. Don't leave your other fingers up, because if you leave your fingers up, you're going to anticipate it, and it's, before you let go, you grab the bow, torqued it, and you shoot to the right or something crazy. So come in, hit it. A lot of times when you see me set up, I'll wiggle my hand. And what I'm doing is just wiggling and kind of nesting the edge of my grip into the little valley right there. And it kind of comes off here. Wrap one finger and use a sling, and you won't have to worry about dropping your bow or anything, which is that's the hard thing, is like trusting the sling. Does everyone have slings? Okay, if you don't have slings, like a shoelace is great. You just kind of loop it over your finger. You have a sling. Really, you want your sling about the distance from here to there. It's a little long, but when you come in, you catch it. You leave it on that finger. And you're going to shoot you behind. You come in, so catch a bow there. Just make another loop. Throw it over that thumb and tighten it down. And you want to shoot like that. And ideally, if you're shooting the correct way, yeah, you want that bow to jump forward and hit that sling. On the perfect shot that feels good, the bow's quiet, it's just like a thud, is when that bow just jumps straight forward. And also using the sling is going to show you, like if you go to shoot, and all of a sudden your bow lurches out this way or it lurches out that way, you can tell if you have torque in your grip. So the sling is more than just a I mean, it's more of a training, it can be a training aid, everything, but it's super important to use it and trust it. But it's hard. You're gonna think your bow's gonna go wherever, but just trust it. It won't fall. Where do you guys anchor? Where's your anchor? Corner of the mouth? Corner? 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 Everybody's corner. But no teeth? No
Cheekbone,
teeth or
baby.
anything?
I'm with you.
Cheekbone.
Your tooth, I know your tooth.
Cheekbone.
So if you come in, what you want to do, all right, so you're shooting 3 under. If you go here, that's going to give you a little more distance. So the further down your face gives you more distance. So say if you're trying to shoot 50 meter and you're struggling with, because you have a pretty high angle like I do, like you're going to want to go down, and I wouldn't want to try to do this. It's so hard to get into alignment. But if you could go down, use your pointer finger, and try to find a tooth, something hard, or make a hook like that, and kind of catch the back of your jaw, cheekbone, maybe the little bone right here, the back of your jawbone. If you can get 3 points, you're better. But for your game is your anchor. Like, a lot of guys are kind of here, but they have a longer point on, which means you have a longer crawl, which a longer, deeper crawl means your bow's getting out of tune a lot more. So 3D and indoor, I definitely recommend a higher anchor. But if you're an outdoor guy, like you, I would try to at least anchor index to a tooth. And you want it because it's firm and solid. Any other place, you could be up, down.
Starting off at just 20 yards, would you recommend?
At 20 yards, it's not really going to make a difference. But now 3D, that's where you're going to want that middle finger, just to have a little higher of an anchor. And a lot of it is just natural, kind of like drawback, and see where it hits. I mean, if it hits there and that's what's comfortable and you can repeat every single time, then just run with it. And if you can have the more points of contact with your anchor, the better. So like if you can get a tooth, you know, back here you feel your thumbnail or your thumb joint or something on your earlobe or something.
That's what I do. I hook my thumb under that corner in the back of your jaw. It's not as good as a tooth, I don't think, but at least it's something solid.
But solid. If you can get 2 points of hard contact like that, you'll be more consistent.
Yeah, and just like personal thing from that, I used to have to do more of an Olympic style anchor, and I was really inconsistent. Once I started moving to a tooth, my ups and downs have gone down significantly.
But it's hard. Once it's ingrained,
It's very hard to
If
change.
you ingrain, say, a high anchor, and you're trying to shoot a far game, it's tough to change an anchor. Like I would have a hard time trying to shoot 50 meters. Like I don't shoot it because of that, but it's hard. Kind of heard a little bit of not so much a tink, but you can definitely hear a little bit of contact. And the next thing is like whenever you're hearing anything funny, like when you're setting your bow up, take this foot spray from Walgreens. It will come off, don't worry about it. Oops, sorry. Real quick to see where you get hit at.
Yeah, no, you did pretty good with the sticky wrist.
For a $2 rest, it's awesome. Yeah, like you said, if you want to be accurate. You said it comes off the bow, not the arrow.
Dry, once you shoot, you should see a clean line. Where's that? Yep, wherever you have contact, you'll see where it's gone.
I can smell it.
spine issue. See? This is another must-have. This is Dr. Schultz. You'll use that more than anything. Yes. I mean, because you'll try to hear it, you'll listen to it, and you're like, I think it's this, I think it's that. There's only one way to know that. No, it shouldn't, yeah, it should just be white. It could be a bunch of different things. It could be the spine, could be a little off. It could be the fletching, could be kind of turned around and needs to be reoriented, which we're going to try that real quick since it's an easy fix. When I orient my arrows, this is how I like to have them on the shaft, like I've showed you guys. See how it's that kind of inverted Y? And that generally gives you about the best clearance that I found. That's the little one kind of kicked out a little bit. It's just rotated up a few degrees from horizontal. Try to shoot it one more time and see if he gets that same contact. If he's getting that same contact, that puts it to more of a spine issue, which that's a whole nother animal to start getting into. So contact on the tail, which may be fixed with a plunger, which, and if I spray it and it doesn't work, I'll put my spare plunger on there, loosen it up, and see if that fixes the problem. I mean, there's no plunger too. You add a plunger, maybe that's going to give it a little bit of cushion and keep the arrow from kind of slapping that way, or with the fletch, or kind of just cushion it a little bit.
Mike, would a bad release have anything to do with it too?
It would.
I'm not saying anything about your release, but I just wonder.
but your release is your release. So if it's bad and generally it's going to be consistently bad. Chances are you don't ever have like that killer release and then bad. If your release is wonky, it's typically going to be wonky most of the time, which it doesn't matter as long as you do it the same way every time. So do it wrong, do it right, but just do it the same. I mean, there is no right or wrong. You can go through any manual and watch, like go to some of the Korean videos and watch stuff from that coach Kiskali, and he'll teach us like that NTS system, which is great, but you have to do that every single time. Or you're just going to shoot, but just shoot the same. A little bit.